Alex, you want canned cranberry sauce or should we make it ourselves?
That's my mom. She didn't know about Instacart's family carts, so...
Want to make pecan pie this year, yes or no? Oh, and how many boxes of stuffing?
So I told her we could just share a family cart and add all our holiday favorites to the same order without losing our voices or our sanity. It's so much fun.
Alex, can you get my holiday village out of the attic?
Baby steps, Alex. Baby steps. Shop Instacart this holiday season and enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
Alex?
What's up, Cuzzy Wuzzies? You're listening to the Bay Ridge Boys, History Hyenas. Bad.
Frank's beats. Make no mistake, it is a blessing that we live in such a comfortable and advanced world. But the downside to that is kids are born into a world and expect it to be easy. And when things aren't easy, they get mad and they complain. But make no mistake, they have it wrong because life's hard no matter what.
Yes.
And you should just be thankful for the easy moments.
Yeah, because guess what? The truth is, and this is what it is, there's 9 billion people in this world. It's not going to be easy for everybody.
No.
As a matter of fact, it's going to be harder for most. And guess who? And I hate to say it, but it's only going to be easy if you're white.
Right off the bat, we are ping-ponging Wei Xiongxin right at you.
That might be the quickest Wei Xiongxin in History Hyenas podcast history.
Cuz that was like Ronda Rousey's 8-second knockout.
Yes!
That was a record-breaking Wei Xiongxin. Speaking of white, today Chrissy Cackles is now Chrissy J. Crew because he's dressed white.
I look like a spokesperson for Bounty toilet paper.
Because your
towel.
shirt does not match your Guido head.
Yeah, because when I went into the store, because I was with the great Sal Volcano this weekend, doing shows in Columbus, Chicago, and Madison, Wisconsin, and we went shopping in Columbus. They had great stores there in Columbus, and I got a shirt that I normally wouldn't get because I'm the kind of kid I get my button-downs from H&M or Target. And I got a nice shirt that was $85, and it just feels good. It's a different thing. But I have to tell you, in mid-America, in the middle of our country, I could just say collectively has got a lower IQ than the East Coast. It's just a fact, and it's what it is. I think the higher IQs are on the coast, and the lower ones are in the middle of the country, because a few of you people, I would say a few thousand of you people, are Franks and Bigs.
Also, you don't see a lot of people walking around because it's all suburban, but when you do see people, you really see them because they're hard to miss because they're fucking fat.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Because at Sal Volcano's shows,
Yes.
and Practical Jokers fans, can we just be honest?
That's why we're on the History Hyenas, because it's part history, more hyena.
Wild! Do you think he picks venues that he knows has concrete floors just in case?
Yeah!
To make sure the venue stays intact.
That's what it is.
It also has to have handicap wheelchair accessibility.
And there better be a Denny's within walking distance.
Because there's a lot of scooters that are in the front row.
Yes. It's beautiful. It's actually truly like a beautiful thing to see like what Impractical Jokers and Sal's comedy has done for people, because it really makes people feel better about their lives. It's actually truly beautiful, but there's a lot of people that when we were there, they traveled from Columbus to Chicago to Wisconsin, and it's a nice thing, but it's one of those things where Sal is such a nice guy that he will be murdered by one of his fans.
It's gonna happen.
And it's just what it is.
Yeah.
One day he's going to come home and his wife's going to be like, "Hi, Sal," and it's just going to be a fan with Sal's face on him because he murdered and skinned Sal, because Sal's such a nice guy. And it's just the fans. I mean, if you're a grown adult traveling from city to city to city to see another grown adult do comedy, it's just a little weird.
It is what it is.
Sal truly makes me laugh really hard.
Yeah.
Off stage.
Sal Vulcano.
When we're hanging out,
Yeah.
he fucking cracks me up.
He's one of the guys.
He's such a funny kid.
If you ever get a chance to like get in a room with Sal for an hour, you will not stop laughing because of how committed he is to his bits.
Yeah.
And how Sal's the kind of guy, like he actually reads, like how we take time, we'll be on the toilet, and we'll read, useless shit, meaningless shit on Instagram or whatever. Sal reads actual consumer reports for different products.
So
Sal
funny.
can tell you in depth what the best scissor is to get.
Yeah, and
it's unbelievable.
And he got us presents. He both got us Playboy necklaces.
Beautiful, which is great.
And-
Thoughtful kid.
Yeah, we love them. We wear them sometimes.
Sal got me. There's this new underwear that's out. It's called Tommy John underwear.
Oh yeah, everyone loves that shit.
It's $35 a pair. Sal bought me a pair. Just he said on me.
People go crazy over that Tommy John.
Are they
He says
comfortable?
It really holds your piece nice, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sneak up on you, doesn't ride up on you.
Yeah.
If you're a heavy kid.
Now, what about you? What about
Like
you? 'Cause
Mike
you're-
Mush is joining us again today. We got Mike Mush. We got James, the Jew or Hispanic Mattern.
Yeah.
And of course, we got Jihadi with a body, Zach ISIS.
Yeah.
We got a full fucking house of guys, of cocks.
And there's going to be a fucking rockin' hot podcast after this with the funniest people around. Mike Suarez, Liz from the Comedy Cellar, Noam doing Bobby's podcast. You know what, dude, right? You're like, yeah, it's a guest. If you want, it's going to be a fucking wild podcast right here on Riotcast. Yeah.
Yeah. And the photographer chick, what's her name?
What's the photographer chick's name?
Becky.
And Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all Riotcast shit. So Mikey's in here now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be dope. And then, Dog's here with you. Dog, did your glue gun get any work this weekend or what?
It took the weekend off.
Anybody get glued up?
I had options, but I've been fighting a cold.
Yeah.
So I went home, man.
Do you just name your piece Elmer's? Because it's a glue gun?
I will going forward.
Fucking
yeah.
Elmer's, baby.
Now,
That'll be
James
the
is
tat I
one of
get.
the loudest. Have you noticed how loud he is, or is it just me?
James?
Have you ever thought about it? Has it ever been something that's crossed your mind that he's loud, or has it ever hit you? Or are you saying you're a little Franks, but you're not Frank Sam?
I'm
realize
not
when
Frank
he's-
Sambeans. Let me say this quickly.
Yes.
James is such a joy in my life and has been since 2008 that every time I see him, I just hear Christmas music playing in my head.
you.
It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just hearing fucking jingle bells because I'm happy.
First of all, when he says that I'm loud, he's always screaming it.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you realize how loud you are? That's always what
Well,
it is.
yeah.
And we were at a comedy club the other day, and it's loud. They're blasting music, and a bunch of people are yenting about, and I'm saying something excited. He's like, do you realize how loud you are? It's like, yeah, we're in a
But you know what?
big
You're
room.
built for entertainment, and you're especially built for this era and radios and podcasts because your head is a made-for-headphones head. The way your head comes
It
up
really-
to a point,
it's great.
it's a one-size-fits-all headphone head.
Bert.
And
hate you
and
so much.
you just feel like
Why did I
the
come
way
back?
you see it's how it's resting on the top point of his head. Like you got to adjust because you got a little baby head. My head's no headphones fit because they're too big, so I just go headphoneless. But you're perfect.
I got a good helmet.
You have to have that haircut for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Because if you grew hair, it would create. You would look like you have two heads.
Yeah.
It would just be too much volume above your shoulders.
Yeah, and I'm a kid. I better keep my hair for a long time.
Look, when you Fred Flintstone out.
Yeah.
Maybe you could grow your hair because your body mass, you're gonna be fucking big.
Yeah. And it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah, well, because the way you walk now, you walk like you're lugging around something in a backpack.
Yeah.
And when you are really lugging something around, which is a lot of extra weight,
Yeah.
you're gonna leave the planet early,
You think I am?
without a doubt. We have to get a Hey Bert button. Ready? Here it is. Hey Bert. So you sample that. Hey Bert. So that anytime Mad Dog's in here and he speaks, just hit the Hey Bert
Or
button.
anytime we talk about Dog, if we did something to neighbor and he can't be with us, go, hey Bert.
Hey Bert.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Bert.
I hate
So
you.
anyway, tell us about
What'd that asshole say?
8:33.
because it sounded like a chicken fart.
Yeah, I stuck one out.
You're gonna shit your pants.
It's what it is.
Yeah, you're gonna shit your pants. You keep doing that, man.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of funny comments. There's comments coming
Yeah.
all over. People have been letting us know that they are trying to recommend the podcast to friends.
Yeah.
And they have experienced some resistance.
Some resistance. And also, that's funny. And also, real quick, I want to say there's been a couple of people who have said that their Patreon hasn't updated since early November. And the reason is because you probably haven't paid your money. Happy Hanukkah. You know who you are.
Thank you. See, fucking, he is just ready when you talk now.
Yeah.
James said when we came here, he said, "What do you think? What are the chances you think Chris is going to say something racial?" I said, "Have you been listening to our podcast? The chances are 100%."
But it's a safe space to do it because our fans are wild, and there's no malice behind it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I love all races, religions. I have kids from every fucking corner of the world.
Every corner.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Oh, Bubba's.
Listen to this Greek name, Nicodemus Papadopoulos.
Holy
Papadopoulos.
shit. That's fucking Greek.
Nicodemus Papadopoulos.
Guy's coming olive oil.
Yeah, that's his Greek. I mean, that kid.
It can't get any Greeker than that.
That kid has to have his eyebrows threaded every 2 days.
Yeah, that kid unfortunately has to do what his father and mother tell him to do.
100%. This kid works at his dad's business, whatever it is.
Whatever business this guy, you can't do anything else.
100%. This kid travels with his family to events, and they're all through the church.
Yes, 100%.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and the kind of girls he brings home have to be a little specific.
Greek.
Yeah.
They have to be Greek. Just like when Delilah brings home a guy, it's got to be specific that he knows who or where
What?
John Lennon is.
What?
He has, he's got to know who John Lennon is. Yeah, he's got to know the Beatles.
My daughter, she's going to have the kind of boyfriend who doesn't think pit bulls are nice dogs. She doesn't want a pet pit bull.
Oh,
Wait,
man.
a dog who doesn't think pit bulls are a nice dog?
I mean, who does? No. Yeah,
White people love pit bulls.
No.
Yeah.
No, but white people won't have them in their house.
Oh, white people will. Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about white people. I'm just talking about what I want my daughter's boyfriend to act to.
I'm just gonna give you one.
Yeah,
early.
just clear the whole palate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nicodemus, the fucking Greekest kid of all. Is this the Greekest kid of all
He's
time?
modern day Socrates.
I mean, this kid, he's been probably Franks and Beans Greek by how Greek his Greekest family is.
100%. He's got the kind of, just by his name, I could tell that he loves Panos. His family does not.
Right.
They're offended by Panos.
He's got the type of name that if his family found out he was listening to this podcast, they would honor kill his sister. Just make no mistake, his daughters get a raw deal.
Yes, his daughter, this guy's sister still has not left the house.
Nah, she lives in the attic, and that's what it is.
His last name's so Greek, you had to say it twice.
Yeah,
that's how difficult it was.
Papadopoulos.
The Greek name usually doesn't trip up Giannis.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow. Nicodemus Papadopoulos. Okay, so he says, showed my girlfriend the pod. Your Greek girlfriend, as we know.
You showed Athena the pod.
Yeah, you showed Athena the pod. And he says, make no mistake, I was extremely scared to show my girlfriend the pod because you guys are just some gross kids who fart in mics. But I did it anyway because the new episode just came out and I had no choice but to listen to it regardless of who was in my car. And at that very second, and she ended up loving it and is currently listening to every episode. Yeah! Thank you, Athena. And then Nate Seaman, he's a big fan. He wants to do our designs. He came up with something funny. He says, has anyone emailed the simulators at Patreon to see if we can get our page renamed to Matreon?
That's a great idea.
In honor of the matriarchy. Smash the Patreon hashtag. All right. And
we're going to start calling it the Matreon now in honor of Mr. Seaman.
Yeah, I like that. The Matreon.
Yeah, Seaman is great. And the fans have come up with some of our best nicknames. The Matreon and Jihadi with a body.
Yeah, who was it who came up with it?
A fan came up with that.
Yeah, he did.
It was like some guy named Glenn or something.
Yeah, some Jihadi with a body.
Yeah, I actually stole it and set it on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. So then we got our first round draft pick, Clay Anthony.
Oh, Clay Anthony's number one. He's going to the Knicks or the Bucks.
Yeah, he goes, make no mistake.
Clay Anthony's a guy who, I don't know if he could date my daughter.
He says, make no mistake, I'd give more money every month because this is my favorite podcast, but not if it's paying for the Muzzy to control the soundboard. Wei Shang-Xing, Wei Shang-Xing.
Hey, baby, yes.
Yeah. So there you go. Clay Anthony coming with a good.
So these are positives.
Yeah, some positives. Then we got Layla.
Got a couple of neggies.
Wow. We got Layla Solak Sabusi.
That's a fun one.
What kind of name is that?
Turkish Delight. She goes, I'm surprised Giannis didn't get any Turk tingles in his balls. That's another good one.
Yeah, Turk tingles.
Whenever you're around a Turk, you should be able to sense it with Turk tingles.
With Turk tingles.
In your balls.
You're 20% Turk, it's what it is.
26% Turkish.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's a
that
little
came back.
gross.
Huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's why we wanted on this podcast. We want to do.
And we have to do it on this podcast.
Yeah, we got to
James,
do it.
Please.
I refuse
how
to
about
do
this?
it.
What if he comes back 100% hate bird?
How about this? I got an idea. Yanni.
That is my race.
I'm going wild, but just say yes.
Yeah.
You let us do it on this podcast, do it results. We're gonna pay 1 month of your rent for you. We're gonna give you a month.
Yeah, I like
Well, in that
that.
case.
We're gonna pay it. Seriously. I don't mind that.
So what are you
I
guys
don't
doing
mind that.
next Monday?
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't
Let's book
mind.
it now.
If you spin and you let us read the results, 1 month of your rent is on us.
And you know what? If you will give us a picture of your glue gun.
If you
3 months utilities.
Fully charged up, we're gonna put it on the. We're gonna. How about this? We'll have a picture of James's glue gun when our Patreon reaches what? 1,000.
I'm not putting my
No,
penis
listen, no,
on the
10
goddamn Patreon.
People are fucking curious about your
no,
peas.
dog, listen to me.
Yeah, I'm not putting my dick out there. What are you going to pay me for that? A whole year's?
5,000 for 5. If we get to 5,000 Patreon members, aka Matreon members.
Look at that face right there.
Yeah,
that is the
if you
face that someone should make.
You don't have to put your naked glue gun, but if you could just give us, you could just get. We're gonna
in tight.
I want to see his peas.
get your glue gun there.
Yeah.
Get your glue gun there. If you can do that, I'm willing to pay 4 months of your rent.
What is the
4 months to see the glue gun?
Yeah, 5,000 Patreons in. We'll use the Patreon money.
You're fucking wild.
Wild, cuz
You cannot afford to pay
Yeah.
4 months of his rent. You have 3 babies' mamas to pay for.
Yeah, if we get to 10,000 Patreons, I'm gonna put your glue gun in my mouth.
Chrissy Sammons.
Yeah.
Guys, we're we got a lot of messages about your glue
What
gun.
is the female circulation of this podcast? How
We got
many
some
of them?
girls.
We got a lot of
We got
girls.
girls. We got a lot of cultural diversity. You see the last cutie
yeah.
with smoothies
Yeah.
on Instagram?
What if the Turkish girl? So here, I've been saying this for a while for your wedding. I would love to bring a Turkish
I
date
hope
to
you
your
do.
wedding.
Ooh, you
so
wanna
if I
bring
could
her?
get a Turkish date off this,
If you're a Turkish
I would
girl,
love to go
if
through
you're a
with it.
Turkish girl with proven Turkish ancestry, and you're listening to a podcast, and you're a Matreon member, you're a member of the matriarchy, we will, and you want to be James's date to Giannis's wedding. We're going to think of a good gift for you. But first, you got to message us and prove that you're Turkish, and then we'll come up with the idea.
yeah, how do they prove it, everybody?
Well, they got to do
Giannis, how would they
Ancestry.com.
prove?
Ancestry.com.
If they're Turkish?
Yeah.
It's $20. Spin
You'll
it
get
too.
the tingles.
If they come around and I get Turk tingles.
If he gets TT'd.
Yeah, if I get TT. Okay, Hallie Romeo.
Oh, Romeo, she didn't. I think we said she's a piece.
Yeah, you have to say it because my girl told me to stop calling girls pieces on the podcast.
Okay, yeah, sorry. And then
You can.
Rosato's a piece too, and she's one who said that
Yeah.
she hasn't gotten she hasn't paid for the podcast.
Well, Hallie Romano says Asians are not safe, and she says, here to say I upgraded my pledge yet again because I just can't get enough of this fucking matriarch. But for the love of God, she says, sorry, Zach Isis Face. If you guys don't guess my ethnicity this time to pronounce my name correctly after I phonetically spelled it before, I might get steel pipe Chrissy on your asses. And make no mistake, even though I did comment my ethnicity before Giannis does have early onset, so it's like, yeah, it was never even mentioned. Yeah, this girl's Franks and Beans. That's a lot of run-on sentences.
Romeo, I'm going to guess that you are Romanian, is my guess.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that Hallie Romeo, I'm going to guess she's
a piece.
I'm going to guess
It's Mexican.
I'm going to guess Mexican.
Romeo.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Mexican. You see? Because Mexicans know Mexicans.
Or I grew up with Romeros, and they were Mexican.
Or
so
you
there
got
you go.
you got the Mexican tingles.
I got the tings.
All right. And then we got Deanna Durazo. She says, I'll have you know I recommended this episode, Catholics versus Protestants, to someone I met on Bumble, who's also a former recovering Catholic. And make no mistake, he thought it was wild and kind of offensive. Needless to say, I won't be seeing him anytime soon. So thanks, Cuzzy Wuzzies, for helping me weed out all the cocks I don't need to date. Yeah.
Diana Durazo, if you want to date, just DM at Chris D Comedy. I'm a Catholic.
Yeah, there you go.
And by the way, Haley Romeo, Romeu, I like to change it. She's Puerto Rican. I think she's Puerto Rican.
I'm sticking with Mexican.
I think Romeo's Puerto Rican.
It's something Spanish. It's something Latina.
By the way, real quick, Nicole Rosati, who's a piece, she's the one that said her Patreon hasn't updated since November 8th. So I don't know what the problem is. We can definitely take a look into it, but it may be because you haven't maybe something with your pledge.
Yeah.
Check your credit card.
And for you people trying to erase your Patrons and then restart them to save money, fuck you. You're stealing.
Yeah, and I'm going to shit in a bag and light it on fire and throw it at your front door.
And Courtney says, yes, I'm about to complain because unfortunately I'm a white girl who wants to speak to the manager.
Yes.
Second, I'm a white girl who wants to speak to the manager. She says, either I'm the one matriarch that got cut out of Jihadi with a Body shit recording, or you all forgot to mention me on the podcast. My name's a great guessing game for Giannis, and I was real excited to hear him guess my ethnicity wrong. I love how even these girls are ending it with yeah.
Yeah.
In caps. So Courtney, what did we have her on the list?
No.
Is her name just Courtney? We need to know your full
Courtney,
name.
what's her last name?
I don't know. Let's see what the comments are. No apologies. I don't know. I don't know what she's. I don't know. Oh, anyway, that's Courtney. And so that's it. We got some great comments. Keep commenting. We'll read them on here. Keep commenting on our Patreon community board, and we'll obviously, like I just read the wild comments. We'll fucking read the wild comments.
We'll fucking get wild. Why not?
Yeah.
Today, you want to talk about the Sinaloan cartel?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, because
What do you want to do?
Well, here's why I want to talk about it. So I said this on the podcast too last week, I think. I've watched all the season of Narcos. I love Narcos. I think it's fucking great. It's great. And it's all great stories that are based in history and reality, and they're real, which I love. And there's so many fucking pieces on that show. I mean, you can watch that show. Every episode, you could just crank it to another Spanish piece. I mean, they're so hot. The women that they cast in that show are old.
Yeah.
And yeah. So... And I was watching Narcos Mexico, and I have to be honest with you, the first 4 episodes I just didn't like. Like, I was vocal about it. I was telling people, don't waste your time. The show sucks. But then...
You were telling people that in all your group chats. How many group chats are you presently in right now?
Truthfully?
Yeah.
6.
You're in 6 group chats.
There's times where I won't look at my phone while we're doing the podcast. I'll have 150 unread messages, and I'll read and reply to all of them while I'm driving.
Group chats is like, that's the millennials. That's the big thing, group chats.
That's why we're tired all the time and eat so much coffee. Our brains are exhausted from all this information, right? That's got to be true.
That's a real young person's game, group chats.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I have all my group chats on Do Not Disturb now, so like I check them periodically. I don't care if I respond to all of them.
Are group chats getting big though? Is that like the thing? Like you're in a group chat or out of a group chat?
Bro, Patty Fly Balls is in a group chat with 20 guys. He's one of 20 in the group chat. So it's like, what do you...
And what do they do? You guys
they talk about the Mets.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah, or they send you... Who's the person who sends you those crazy fucking...
Who sends me those?
Those
I get
crazy
them from
videos.
Those are usually on the group chats from Debo, Patty Fly Balls, or Chris the Worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the videos will start with like a koala bear and then
And
it's
then
just
a
like
fist
an
in the
arm
ass.
up someone's ass? Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Adam Glinsman said to me, he sent me that good one of that transgendered woman that is very tricky.
And the dick just comes out because at first I was starting to get a little chubbed up.
Yeah, she looks like an absolute feminine piece, and then she turns around and she's got a glue gun.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah. Adam Glynn just sends them to me.
So-
Good kid, Adam Glynn.
Good kid.
The last
Cute kid, too.
4 episodes of Narcos Mexico are like the best television I've ever seen.
Wow.
So much to the point where I was like, we got to do an episode on the Sinaloan cartel because those guys are fucking wild.
The brutality makes hyena brutality look tame and civilized.
Yeah, I mean, El Chapo, who's like very famous right now, was like, he's like the most recent leader of the cartel. But I mean, back in the 70s and 80s when shit was going down, El Chapo was just the main guy's driver.
Yeah.
He was just the main dude's fucking driver.
With ambition.
Yeah, with ambition. And it's like, the thing is...
Because with that mustache, doesn't he just look like a math teacher or computer teacher in the
does.
early 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapo, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a public school computer teacher.
The thing is, like, with these cartels and, like, with these I didn't realize, like, so much of what happens, like the drug problem in America, all of it is because of Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's because
we need to build a wall.
Build a wall. Yeah, no. But like we were saying before, like after you watch a show like Narcos Mexico, you can see why a city like San Diego is an extremely conservative city.
Yes.
And why those border towns, like, yeah, we want the wall built. Nobody's devaluing the Mexican lives. Like nobody thinks. I mean, there are certain stupid people that think Mexican people aren't as capable as people from the United States, and that's just foolish and stupid. But the truth of the matter is, they got a huge problem in Mexico that they don't want to spill into America.
There's murders that happen right on the other side of the border within easy visual sight of American border patrols.
Executions with AK-47s on the Mexican highways that the U.S. Customs agents can see from San Diego or from Laredo, wherever.
Juarez, Mexico.
I mean, Tijuana, that's where a lot of the drugs come in. I mean, we're talking about tons and tons of fucking drugs come in through there. So, of course, San Diego is going to be conservative on that issue.
The whole crack cocaine epidemic that's going on still to this day in Chicago is it's directly from the cartel. That's who supplies it. So it's not their fault. I mean, there's a lot of channels, but it's like, I get it.
It's such an interesting, fascinating thing because the brutality is on a level the brutality is hard. It's hard to believe that is happening in the Western Hemisphere.
It's worse than horror movies.
It's the worst
crazy.
brutality. They kidnap. It's just murder. They dissolve bodies. They disappear people. They decapitate people. They make they do decapitated videos, just like your relatives.
Like Zach's boys.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they'll if you. Not even if you've done anything, if you know someone who's done something, they'll murder your family, they'll murder your wife. I mean, the brutality's on it, and they act with impunity because they have so many police officers on the payroll. And if you want to know how much power the Sinaloan cartel or like the Zetas have, and they're at war. These drug cartels are at war.
Oh, they are, right.
Yeah. If you want to know how much power they have, all you got to do is look at the photographs when they capture like guys in the cartel. All the officers are fucking wearing face masks because they're petrified to show their face because they don't want anything to happen to their families. That is how much power. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if our cops had to hide their faces when they captured people? That lets you know who's in charge right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
and it's not the police.
The problems that we have with our police are obviously profound too, and all that sucks. But the problem that they have in Mexico, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be some fucking, cop that innocently beats up some kid and it's caught on video. It's going to be like some cop allowed this cartel to cut everybody's heads off and put them on their front lawn.
Yeah.
But it's like, but here's the question though. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, what do you want these Mexican people to do? If a cartel's going to come and say, we're going to change your life. You're a farmer now. You can't even feed your kids. If you just make these deliveries for me, if you just do this or that for me, I mean, what would you do? I would probably do it.
I can understand. I mean, look at it, dude.
I mean, with that choice.
El Chapo, he's like the Jeff Bezos of Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that's the cash crop. I mean, like you look at
he was going to open up in Long Island City too.
Yeah, Pablo Escobar. I mean, these guys, they were like the Jeff Bezos. I mean, we're talking about a $10 billion industry. You're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry. You're talking about El Chapo at one point was the 10th richest man in all of Mexico.
And all of the world probably.
No, Mexico. I mean, there's some rich people in Mexico.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's the whole country.
Yeah.
But number 10, top 10 is a drug dealer.
Yeah.
That's how much. That's
how much money the government knew about, though.
Well, and yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's actually a great point.
Could have been more. He could be by far the richest.
Yeah. But it is absolutely, especially with all the front companies he has, with all the money that's laundering through
the bank. What bank is it? There's TD. There's a U.S. bank. It's a Netflix thing. A Dirty Money. There's an episode about it. I want to say TD, but I don't want to be wrong. But it's one of the major banks. They like encourage you not to put your money there because they know it's cartel money,
right?
And that people are getting their heads like this is how hardcore they are. You're talking about how like vicious they are. They kill politicians.
Yeah.
In Mexico, yeah.
Politicians will go, like, if you go, hey, I'm running, elect me this year, I'm going to get rid of the drug dealers, or I'm going to do this, you might lose a hand or a head.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to happen.
Well, that's what I want to get to and talk about why the Mexican drug cartel is I think the most wild. But then I'm going to ruin Narcos Mexico for you. You're still watching episodes.
It's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's okay. But
because you should know what happens anyway.
Yeah, but we are lucky for this episode to have a Mexican kid from Texas sitting right here.
Yeah.
What have you done to get in this country? Let me see your papers.
I didn't even realize you were here, you fucking useless eater.
Can we see your papers, please?
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. So you know about this?
Yeah, I have uncles in the Border Patrol.
Uncles in the Border Patrol.
Yeah.
Do you feel as Americans their lives are ever in danger, or the cartel would never cross to hurt an American agent? I know it does happen because fucking Cuckface doesn't want me to say it. He hasn't finished Narcos Mexico.
I have an older uncle who died of a heart attack. He was probably in danger during his career because he was out there.
So you think he actually died of a heart attack, or it was something?
Oh yeah, he was fat as shit. But
right.
my other uncles are more doing other kind of stuff. Like they'll do like the door drilling. So they're not really after the cartels, more the delivery people. Like,
but like the Border Patrol, they're not like even if they go like on the border and like the cartel guys are there, like they're never going to kill a U.S. Border Patrol agent. If they did, it would be front page news. Like,
and they got a lot of.
They would in the right situations. Like they are in danger. They have to worry.
Too. You could have a couple of corrupt Border Patrol.
Yeah,
that too.
You know.
That does happen.
Do the Mexicans talk like that in Texas and California?
Only the fun ones.
The fun ones, man. Like my family is coming from Mexico, and his name is James Mattern.
Only half a cousin.
Cause you got a face that looks like it's from Tijuana.
Sunday.
Now, Mexican to Mexican, are you saying? Because we don't know. I don't know. He was here. He wasn't here for.
He wasn't.
Mike Mush wasn't here.
Wasn't here. No.
Okay, so here's the deal, real quick, because the matriarch knows about it. James, I love saying it too because it's funny to me. James Mattern's mom was a toot.
He loves saying it out loud. He just can't say it enough.
A professional toot, like an actual toot in Vegas.
Yeah,
high-end toot. Probably was a piece. You don't.
He asked me on the drive in, "Hey, was your out of nowhere? Was your mom?" We're talking about how I get sad on the holidays. Like I love the build. He's like, if Christmas had a vagina, I would fucking be up in it.
I love Christmas.
Weird.
I want to fuck Christmas's puss.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest. If Chris had a post-op fucking vagina, post-op piece.
No, not even post-op. I just wish it had a piece and titties.
Yes, a tranny.
Trans Christmas.
And I tell him how
I told him I wanted to fuck Christmas, and I asked if his mom was a toot.
Well, yeah.
No, if his mom was a piece.
Because I tell him
was a piece. I knew she was a toot.
I like the build up to Christmas, and then the day of, like most holidays other than Halloween, the day of I get sad. He goes, why? Because the memories? I go, no, memories are good. And then out of nowhere, quick pivot. Was your mom a piece? Like, this makes no sense.
I mean, if she was a toot, she had to have been a kind of a piece.
James is a good-looking kid.
James gets a lot of toots.
Yeah, James gets a lot. James has banged a couple of girls you've heard of.
Yeah, but James
has banged a few broads.
Yeah, James has now decided that sweatpants is his new look, and he asked me what I thought. And I said, well, it looks like you're doing chores on a Sunday, or that's your look.
It looks. I got to be honest. You're wearing the official uniform of Sunset Park. If you know what that means, Google it.
Yeah, and the Wei Shangxing. Yeah,
Wei Shangxing.
Thank you.
Saturday night we're at a diner, and the server was probably Mexican or Central American.
I mean, I would say 100% Mexican.
And Giannis turns to me and goes, I think she knows you're Mexican because like she filled my water first and always looked at me first and asked me questions. She's like, she knows it's Mexican on Mexican.
She's your aunt. She
was like 21.
That's your aunt.
I do not want to go into a restaurant that does not have Mexicans handling it.
100%.
Nobody. I just don't want to deal.
It is what it is.
I don't want to. I had a Russian waiter on Sunday for brunch. Me and Brittany. He fucked up the order. I just want a Mexican because nobody's as good.
Yeah.
Nobody does it better.
With any job. If a Mexican shows up to do any job, whether it be food, building something, driving, they will do it correctly. Now, off-duty Mexicans is another thing. Because they get drunk and they could get a little dangerous. But when they're on duty with their jobs, Mexicans are the best workers that Americans have to offer. It's 100% the illegals.
The best Italian restaurant right now in Bay Ridge owned by Mexicans.
Absolutely.
Picante.
Picante, it was 3 Mexican guys that were working in other Italian restaurants. They combined forces to make a super Mexican, and and this super Mexican opened up Picante, and it is the best food in Bay Ridge. I agree with you. They're so good. And if you put them all on their one on top of each other on their shoulders, they would be about my height, maybe a little shorter.
They're like Mexican Voltron.
Yeah. It's what it is.
So, Suarez, we don't know if James's father definitely paid to fuck his mom. We do know that
for a fact. She dated some Jewish dudes, and she had a Mexican boyfriend in Mexico.
Okay. Yeah, and we don't know. We think he could have been Mexican.
I've seen a picture of him.
His family believes it comes down to his father was either a Jew or a Mexican. Looking at his face, you being Mexican.
But that could be anything. I could be a random John who didn't wear a helmet. Basically.
He could be a Trudeau.
Yeah. You could be a Trudeau.
I do have Prime Minister blood.
Yes.
What do you think? We do know he's part Italian, German, but the other half is either.
Well, we know it's because his grandma was a Nazi.
His grandmother was a Hitler Youth.
Yeah, and she
had no options for
her.
Stop fighting that.
She helped coordinate.
Stop fighting that.
She had
the
no
truth
option.
is because your grandmother knew she coordinated the bomb attack that killed your aunts and nieces and nephews at the movie theater.
It is.
She knew what it is.
Just stop fighting the fact that your grandmother was an actual Hitler Youth.
Yeah, you would have been too if you're there. What up? When you get to the Fuhrer,
doesn't matter.
I'm not going to wear the uniform when you're 8.
Doesn't matter.
Because when you look in the mirror, when I look at you, all I fucking see is success. Because your grandmother was a Nazi, your mother was a toot, and you fucking made it to Bay Ridge. So you're a fucking success story.
I want you to write the foreword to my biography on that.
Yeah.
So Suarez, what do you see when you look in his eyes? Do you see Mexican or Jew?
You set this up like it's a game show.
Oh, God, Jihadi's so on point right now.
Jihadi's great.
I can't even tell he's a 23-year-old kid that knows nothing.
When Jihadi's jacked, he sucks. When he just looks like a blubbering shit, he's fucking great.
It is what it is.
He is doing so many steroids. That's why his body's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
All right. What's the verdict?
Well, you're tall and you can grow a full beard, so that's kind of a false flag right there.
I'm 5'10".
For a Mexican, you're tall.
Yeah.
True.
That's NBA Mexican player. Yeah.
Exactly. But your eyes have very Hispanic qualities. So I would say there is some Mexican in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other test would see if you can dig for root vegetables with your hands. If you can do that.
Yeah.
Yo, Suarez took a swing and made contact.
Yeah.
Nice.
Suarez, you're
Funny
100%
kid.
Mexican, right?
Yeah.
God, yeah.
So your family members are Border Patrol agents. What's the climate down there in Texas? What part of Texas are you from?
I'm from San Antonio, which is like in the middle, like an hour from Austin.
Okay.
So is that the Sinaloan cartel's territory? Do we know what the Sinaloan I think their territories are.
They have the triangle. There's no,
but that's in Mexico. But I'm talking in the United States where they supply the drugs. I think Chicago. I was reading I was listening to the news and they said El Chapo's directly responsible, his cartel, for the drug problem in Chicago. That may just be fucking media blaming it on him, but when I did the research, that's what they said.
Well, it's they provide 80%. They supply 80% of the heroin, cocaine, marijuana, methamphetamine flowing into Chicago each year. You are correct, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not going to know which cartel it's from. It's like you don't know what supplier goes to Walmart.
Yeah.
You just get your drugs from the guy
Now
at the
look,
corner.
But from Chicago, it goes west to Los Angeles. It goes east to New York, Philly, D.C., Cincinnati, Columbus, and up into Vancouver. So it flows through Chicago.
Now, see, I just also think, though, I'm one of these guys that I believe that drug addictions and drug problems is not a prison problem and a law enforcement issue. It's a health issue. So I think a lot of these problems happen, all this murder and violence, because the law enforcement's involved. Portugal, do you guys know that you're allowed to do drugs in Portugal? You can do drugs.
Everything.
But if you do drugs in Portugal, and if you, first of all, if you drive a drug overdose to I'm sorry that happens. But if you're like strung out, obviously if you're behind the wheel of a vehicle and you killed someone, now we're talking about a different thing. But if you're just on drugs, the police take you to a clinic. That's where you, like, as if you're taken to a hospital. If you had a heart attack on the street, you're taken to the hospital. You are taken to a clinic in Portugal, and their crime has decreased. Their crime is the lowest it's ever been in the past 5 years in Portugal.
Well, to be specific, they decriminalized the use of drugs, but they did not decriminalize the selling of drugs.
Okay.
So you can still be arrested for selling it. So.
But you're not arrested for using it.
Correct. They decriminalize the usage of drugs.
But why can't...
They're not the only ones who've done that.
But if they're going to decriminalize the use, why not just decriminalize the sale of it, and then just as a government you have to just pay a tax like it's just a job?
Well,
it's just a storefront, and then you won't have people's heads in the streets.
Well,
you're going to have people who are addicted to drugs, and it's like that's the kind of person where that happens. People get sick, people do drugs. But it's like you're not going to have these cartels killing everybody if you just make things legal. I think it's just an egotistical thing by the governments to say it's no because we said no.
Well, that's a point of contention. I mean that's a point of contention. You may have a point, you may not. I mean, I believe obviously legalization of marijuana. Obviously, marijuana is not as dangerous
as alcohol. Alcohol's more dangerous than fucking marijuana.
But kids are fucking susceptible. You see how many kids are dying from heroin overdoses in the suburbs right now.
Okay, you can't buy it till they're 18, just like alcohol.
No, but I'm saying that's the thing. Is like alcohol is dangerous, but it's not fucking as dangerous as opium, as heroin.
Yeah.
It's not as addictive as those things.
I understand that, but
if you legalize, it's just going to be everywhere.
You're never going to stop heroin.
Well,
you're not going to stop it.
You're not going to stop murder either, but you're not going to make it legal necessarily. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just bringing up the point.
Maybe opium. Maybe opium's one, but
cocaine too. Cocaine's dangerous. It's a dangerous drug.
Yeah, but it's like people are going to do it or they're not going to do it. Like even if heroin and cocaine were legal, I still wouldn't never do it. Now that doesn't make me a better guy than anybody else, but I didn't not
because you did a cycle when you were young.
Yeah, I did not do it. I did not do it. I didn't not do it.
And your head got big and it stayed.
Yeah, I just did it because I didn't want to do it. And most people don't want to do it. There are a good amount of people who do want to do it, but most people don't do it. So it's like the decriminalizing these things, I think, makes it better. It's not going to ever be decriminalized, but it's just like I think it's safe to say that these people, the Mexican government, the U.S. government, they want this. It gives the law enforcement jobs. They could make it all better tomorrow. It's not going to happen.
I don't know.
You have to accept that. It's just not going to happen.
I don't know. It's an interesting point.
Yeah.
And back to the original point of what makes us so fascinated is because it's so multifaceted. One of the most interesting facets being that the demand is huge in America.
Huge.
And so that's what causes this competition between the cartels for the business.
Because we got money in this country.
Because we got money and we love to get fucking high.
Yeah.
And you know who most of the people are that like to get high in this country?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and you were a big part of it when you were party promoting. You were involved in that life, and you got shot in the leg.
I got shot?
You got shot almost in the ball sack.
Yeah, but it had nothing to do with drugs.
No, it had nothing to do with drugs.
Drug dealers
you
at
were
that club.
in that area, and I'm sure that the guy who shot you, the bullet would have just went a little higher.
And took off my pants?
Yeah, it took off your pants.
Well, then I could have just lived my dream and turned it into the vagina that I always wanted. I just want to be when I think of myself as a girl, it turns me on.
Really?
I'm fucking Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, you fucking jerk off to yourself as a girl.
I'd fuck me.
Would you fuck me? I think, but being around that lifestyle, of course, there's a lot of danger, but I just feel like if you decriminalize these things, it just makes it better. Listen, rape, murder, these things are crimes that you can never decriminalize because it's crime. You're taking lives. You're hurting people. Doing drugs, it's just like, it doesn't have to be about the law. You're doing it to yourself unless you get in a vehicle. But if you're the
parents of a kid who's on heroin, you may look at it differently.
Yeah, but listen, if my daughter ever decided to do heroin, I would try to do everything.
Means she's hanging out with people we told her not to hang out with?
Yes!
Just kidding, because that's usually who's doing heroin is the honkaducks.
I was going to say, it's honkaducks. I would say what my whole thing would be if she decided to do that would be, if you send her to prison, it's going to get worse. Now you're putting around all these addicts again. And she's learning even worse strategies.
Yeah.
Put her in a hospital. If she got behind the car and killed someone, then put her in jail.
Well, but
if they're
I agree with that.
If she's shooting up and she's falling over, why are you putting her in fucking jail?
Decriminalize the usage. I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
Portugal is a great case study.
Yeah.
for how that's beneficial for
Yeah.
the reasons you said.
Yeah.
But
And by the way, speaking of Portugal real quick, when I'm in a good mood, I do fucking crank a little bit to Cristiano Ronaldo. It's what it is.
He's a pretty man.
Yeah.
yeah, he got caught with a couple trans, didn't he?
Yeah,
Or was that the other Ronaldo?
Dwight Howard recently did, and then
The other Ronaldo, the first Ronaldo.
Maybe, yeah.
The first famous Ronaldo.
From Brazil.
Yeah, he got caught.
But in Brazil, that's going to happen. No?
Yeah, I mean,
What do you-
they got
Because make no mistake,
That's what it is, right?
When this podcast gets to the next level and we're selling out theaters and we get to a really big level, we got like a big show and everything, you will 100,000% satiate your need for toots, specifically transgender toots, and it's going to be a story on TMZ, and I already have a statement prepared.
It is what it is.
It's just the truth.
This is a wild podcast.
Yeah, because
I like that comment was really funny when she said, I tried to recommend the podcast, but the guy said it gave him a headache. Yeah, we give some people because
it's not everybody's for everybody.
Are we not a smart podcast?
I don't think that we're intentionally trying to be dumb or smart. I think we're the kind of podcast where if you maybe will learn something if we get to the history of it, but I think you're just entertained. If you want to take a step back from your life and just get an hour break, we're your guys. And you may also learn something while you're kind of de-escalating from a long day at work, or maybe, just don't want to feel like you're being told anything. Don't want to feel like you have to now go Google something. Like you just want to feel good. I think we're your guys.
Yeah, I mean, so much of the drugs in the world is supplied
by Mexico,
and South America too. Still, yeah. I mean the
Colombia
global
still, right?
Yeah, I mean the global flow of cocaine. I'm looking at the map right now. It flows from South and Central America to the rest of the world. I mean, that's like their cash crop, man. I mean, how do you blame them? It's simple supply and demand. Like, what are you gonna do? You can knock. Somebody is always going to rise to fill that void. Like we mentioned El Chapo.
Right.
If you don't know, El Chapo's on trial. He was extradited to the United States. He's on trial right now in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He's going to go down. But there's somebody else who's probably already filled his shoes.
Of course, just like when you knock out, terrorism, because terrorism is like, it's just an idea. It's not like one person. Like when you cut, back in the day, like if you cut the head off some fucking big leader,
yeah.
Nobody could replace him or her because it's what it is. Now it's like, nobody really cares. I mean, the cartels are loyal to El Chapo now and to these big drug dealers now when they were loyal to Escobar because that was the guy in charge. Once that person's gone, the next guy pops up. That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter. You're never going to stop this problem.
They're loyal to their next meal.
Sure.
So whoever can provide it, it's like, you're great now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the clink? Hello, next great one.
Next great one, yeah. And it's like, you're not going to ever get rid of it. I think the U.S. government has some fucking fantasy that they think they can stop this when it's like, Portugal decriminalizing drugs is not them giving up on drugs, and it's not them throwing in the towel and saying, "Oh, we lost." It's them making the smart choice because it's them caring about their people more than they care about their fucking prisons.
Yeah, it's a humane thing to do. It looks at an addict more as a sickness than as a crime.
Yeah,
so it's more humane.
It's a real libertarian view too, right? Like
I guess. Yeah.
No, but like that's what it is.
Yes.
It's like, all right, so this is what we're gonna get rid of the crime aspect by legalizing it. So now you'll go get it at 7-Eleven. The price will be controlled, so you won't deal with drug dealers, and you control your own destiny to go buy it. If you want to do that, it's you. And also, here's the big libertarian. We get tax money out of it.
Sure.
So it's like a big win-win.
Absolutely.
In that aspect. So, I mean, I don't know. My mom was a junkie on top to being
Wait, what do you mean you
so
get
this
tax dollars out of it?
So if it becomes legal,
yeah, you're
you
going to get
tax
taxed.
them.
That's
Yeah.
the whole thing. That's
Yeah,
the
but
whole
it's-
reason why weed wasn't legal. So they couldn't tax it. They're start taxing it now.
Look at
Oh,
the
you're
boom.
saying if, because
if you legalize
yeah,
H.
that's what I thought. You were saying it was a reality in Portugal. It's not. They're not taxing drugs.
No, but here, it's like the libertarian view is if you legalize it, and if I can go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee, a hot dog, and some H, Boy, that tax money. Think about that.
Fucking great.
Will that be a combo? Would fast food make those combo meals?
I mean,
Yeah.
it would.
KFC, 2 legs, 2 cookies, a Coke, and
Well,
and
opium
a
and
syringe.
heroin, because
You
of
cannot
how
legalize the distribution of drugs. There would be fucking drug addicts everywhere.
weed you can.
Weed, of course.
Weed you can. You can't do it with opium, but weed should just be as legal. You should be able to buy weed next to beer.
Well, libertarians think it should all be legal
Yes.
and just let it happen. But, they're just, they believe in chaos.
They're crazy.
Yeah, it's anarchy.
When I go home,
no,
they think
I
it'll
don't-
all
and
work
I don't
itself out.
No. I don't necessarily not believe. I don't necessarily disagree with them, because I believe what I believe too is, legalize it all. And if you're a kind of person that's what you need to do and you do it, then you deal with the fucking
yeah,
consequences.
but those people end up doing bad things to get money for drugs.
Well, then we fucking arm ourselves.
build a wall.
comes back to the Second Amendment, right, baby?
Steel pipe Chrissy. Well, that's another facet we're going to talk about. But just to give people some history real quick, El Chapo, his name, El Chapo, it's a nickname.
Oh yeah.
It's
what
a
does
nick-
it mean, El Chapo?
It means
Suarez?
shorty.
Oh, the shorty. Okay.
It means shorty
Short-
because
short guy,
make no
short.
mistake, this kid is 5'6".
That's even short for Jamaican, right?
I think for a Mexican, it's pretty tall.
About mid-range.
I mean, it's for a
He's a mid-range Mexican, everybody.
Yeah, he became the Mexico's top drug guy in like the early 2000s, and he filled a void that was left by OCL Cardenas Guyen of the Gulf Cartel after his arrest. That was a rival cartel.
Okay.
They took them down, and El Chapo came in, and the kid, he's a 61-year-old kid, El Chapo. And he escaped from federal prison, and there's not one frame of footage that shows the escape. That lets you know
That who was involved.
how much the drug cartel runs Mexico.
Yeah.
To your point, it's illegal. But so maybe you make.
Well,
we
Cuz,
should
can I just
try
give the
it. Maybe
example
I
and
mean
ruin
they
the-
run Mexico as it is.
Listen, you're watching Narcos Mexico, and I don't think you knowing this information, because I knew this from the beginning what was going to happen, because I knew the story. Kiki Camarena, who's Michael Peña's character in Narcos Mexico, is going to be murdered by the Mexican cartel with the 100% knowledge of the Mexican government allowing it to happen. They drilled a hole in his fucking head while he was alive and murdered him. A DEA federal agent, the Mexican government said okay and allowed it. So that's why I think the Mexican cartel is, because even Pablo Escobar would not touch a U.S. agent. So, and this war on drugs that we have right now is a direct influence from that incident. They killed a DEA agent and a government pilot for information, to try to get information about what they knew about some wiretaps. So they completely crossed the line, and now that's why we're still in this war. If that would have never happened, I don't know. There's probably a lot of shit America turns a blind eye to because it really doesn't involve them. But when you killed a DEA agent, now that's why I asked you about, do Border Patrol, do they still feel unsafe?
Yes,
They still do. So you think a Mexican cartel still to this day will kill an agent? 100% they'll kill an agent.
They probably buy a
if they're in
few
the-
off.
if they're in the wrong situation. Yeah,
So if a DEA agent was in Juarez right now, which I'm sure there are, they could get killed.
if they're there for the wrong reason, yeah.
Yeah.
Like just existing and being
Just
there,
being on the
no,
street,
but-
they know that they're being surveilled. They're not going to kill them because they know that's going to bring the heat.
Right, but if they're
Yeah.
getting, I mean, not to sound, but they're getting too close or they know something, yeah, they'll fucking kill them.
Yeah, yeah.
They certainly buy off Border Patrol agents too, probably.
Probably. I mean, I don't know statistics
Yeah.
on that. But Michael does have a nice car.
I mean, it's
but-
got it. Your uncle might be involved.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to. That's the way they get it in. I mean, they just pay people off. They also transport cocaine from Colombia to Mexico.
And then up to the U.S.
Yeah, and it's-
because do the Mexican public have a bigger drug problem as us, or is the answer no? 'Cause they don't have the money.
They don't. America is the number one consumer of drugs
In the world. Right.
We love to get fucking high.
Well, also, okay, yes, that's okay. One, we have the money, and we also, with proximity closest to Mexico, which is capable of making all those drugs because of their terrain. So I wonder if Europe doesn't have as big a drug problem, because I mean it's got to be a big deal. I don't think the Mexican drugs somehow get to Europe.
Yeah, they do.
How do they get across the ocean?
They do.
I guess just smuggled in on boat.
Well, that's
or planes, whatever.
That's the genius of the Sinaloa cartels, that they also built up a shipping and transportation empire to facilitate their...
Oh, yeah, it's ingenious ways. They put it in tires.
Yeah.
They put it in fucking... They said the one Border Patrol agent said that they'll put it in like carburetors of engines. Like they'll put it like in the... Like you have to take apart the car to get it out.
Well, it's smart. They laundered... You know, you got to launder your money. As all the Breaking Bad fans know, that became pop culture. Everyone knows... When you got dirty money, you got to launder it. So you launder by opening, legit businesses and hiding your money that way. You report less earnings. So what they did is they started shipping companies and shipped other shit and then snuck the drugs in there.
And let's just be honest. Yes, of course, plenty of people get caught. I'm sure people get caught smuggling drugs from Mexico into the U.S. every day. But let's be honest. Our Border Patrol, although I fucking support our troops, if they're anything like the TSA, a lot of those guys just don't give a shit. They just don't. It's like if a dog was fucking, barking and there's drugs there, and I'm like, it's in the carburetor, I got to take the car apart. I'd just be like, just go. You could go in.
No, they're not like that. They're better than TSA.
Oh, they're better. Okay.
Yeah.
So Border Patrol is real deal. Like they don't fuck around. They're like the Marines.
Yeah, you can't make jokes. If the dog reacts the wrong way, they'll search through your shit. They'll see what it was.
Yeah.
They'll ask you They'll ask you questions. It's not
But I'm sure
a bored lady
they get
at
it in
TSA,
a lot.
yeah.
Mexicans get it in a lot. I'm sure because they have all these genius ways.
And
they do it the right way.
They shipping. They through the international waters. They hide it in certain things, and I think mostly probably just common sense would tell me people are paid off.
Yeah. This is the border crossing, like at the checkpoints. That's not like smuggling. That's just some guy with coke who's trying to get it in for himself.
Because where are they doing the smuggling? Where there's no wall? Like, because how can there be borders? There's just geographically. I mean, there's 3,000 plus miles of lines. How can you can't have a U.S. agent there at every point? There's got to be miles where there's nothing.
Yeah, there's miles where it's just like two guys in a truck going back and forth looking for shit.
Yeah. And so inevitably, there's people. Are there like minefields there? Like, how does the U.S. prevent that? Or that's how the drugs get in?
That's how they get in.
Well,
one of the ways they get in.
Yeah, a big way they get into is by air. They get in by air, and actually,
like they just fly a private plane.
Yeah, that was a big thing in the 70s, the Cocaine, 80s, Cocaine Cowboys.
60s, 70s. Pedro Aveles Perez.
He plays for the Mets?
No.
He was involved in that Mariners trade.
Yeah.
Cano, baby, come into the fucking city, back to the city.
Pedro Aveles Perez, he founded the Sinaloa Cartel.
Is that the Thin Man? Is that the guy who's the Thin Man in Narcos Mexico? Do we know?
I don't know, because I've only watched one episode.
I think that is the guy. You'll see some wild shit's going to happen.
But he was of the first generation of Mexican drug smugglers.
He used to be a cop too,
and he's the one he specifically is the one that pioneered the use of planes to bring in drugs. So it's because of him, Pedro Aveles Perez.
Oh, these guys are
not Franks and Beans.
These guys are not stupid at all. El Chapo is not a stupid man by any means.
He's not fucking stupid.
No, he's a smart fucking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so the Sinaloa cartel operates in that triangle, right? The Sinaloa, Durango, and Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Those three states. I guess they call it the triangle or the I don't know what do they call that the triangle or
the triangulito?
Am I just making that up?
I don't know.
Triangulito, yeah.
The triangulito.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what they do that's really smart? You're talking about that, like how smart they are. I saw that they will send drugs to America, right? Like everyone's doing coke. They'll send samples of crystal meth because people are like buying recreational coke because they're making 6-7 figures, and then they'll give them like the drug dealers will give you, hey, try this too when that runs out, and then people get hooked on meth, which is not recreational,
right?
And then they make rich meth heads. Like that's it's evil and horrible. But it's absolutely genius.
Yeah, anytime you're preying on a person's vice, it's horrible. But in a capitalistic country, that's how people make money.
Think of that, dude.
Now, the Sinaloa cartel has been at constant war with the Tijuana cartel.
Okay, they got beef
for access to the border city of San Diego, because Tijuana, of course, is right on the border with San Diego.
But where's Sinaloa? Is that like Central Mexico, closer to Texas? Is Sinaloa close to Texas, or? I don't think so. No. Yeah. What's by you? What's by Texas is Juarez.
It's right on the other side of El Paso. And then Piedras Negras, a lot of cities like that.
Yeah.
But it's been believed that recently the Sinaloa...
If you say Sinaloa one more time, I'm going to punch you. It's Sinaloa. Stop putting in eminent, you dirty Turk.
The Sinaloa Federation has absorbed most of the Tijuana cartel, so it looks like they're winning.
The Sinaloan cartel has taken over Tijuana?
Has
So
absorbed
El
a lot of
Chapo's
it.
still in charge, right? I mean,
Well,
if
not
we're being
anymore.
honest with each other?
Not him, but he's going down. He's
He's
going
not
down.
calling the shots from jail? Not that we
doubt
know
it.
of, right?
I doubt. I think he's just going to go down.
Do you think there's a possibility that in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn right now, he's just like, he just has a cellmate? Like you're randomly El Chapo cellmate? Or
Just some dude. Just some dude in for hopping a turnstile?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, what's up, man? What you in for? He's like, oh, for illegally ferrying in 100 tons of illegal narcotics and murdering 3,000 people. What about you? He's like, hop the turnstile at the junction stop.
Yeah. No, I
It
fucking
is
jaywalked a few
what
times.
it is.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Dog's saying no. He's saying he's gone solitary confinement.
Yeah, of course, he's
watched.
got to be.
He's in a goddamn box.
They're watching that motherfucker.
The only way you can actually break him out of jail is if there was enough Mexican people from his cartel already here and you have a massive shootout and somehow he gets out. You have to send an army. He's not going to dig a hole out.
Now, here is another interesting facet about this whole thing that a lot of people don't know that they'll probably learn on this podcast because nobody really talks about it or understands it, but it is fascinating. And that is that...
Bubba's, you leaving?
No, let me say the point. I'm gonna go, but I didn't want to blow up his.
All right, Bubba's.
Where are you going?
I gotta leave.
Where you going?
I got a gig, Bubba's.
What time?
7, but I'm gonna walk there.
Where are you at?
24th Street.
Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, you leave at 6. Hey, Bert.
I wanted to hear the point.
Hey, Bert.
Sorry.
Oh, hey, Bert.
But yeah, now this
We're gonna get a lot of them.
8
so we
minutes
gotta
of Hey Bert's on the way out.
And the point will never be made.
The point was never made. It was
By the way,
supposed to- it was
thank
way
you,
before that.
Andrew Agos, for making those Hey Bert.
By the way, shout out Andrew. I just want to shout out real quick Andrew Agos right now. Andrew Agos came to my shows at the Chicago Improv. He gave me a beautiful Chicago Cubs Anthony Rizzo jersey. Thank you so much for coming. And you brought your daughter, who's a beast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's beautiful. And I hope she's feeling better because she was throwing up after the show. I hope she's feeling better, Andrew. Thank you so much. You're a fucking loyal member of the Matriarch. I see that you just finally joined up or you just updated your pledge. I mean, you're a fucking surgeon. You could give a little more. No, I'm kidding. You're what you give, what you pledge is much appreciated. I just want to say thank you so much for coming out to the show, Mr. Agos.
That's very
All right,
nice.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a Greek kid bad. And I'm sure it was a great show because you and Sal are fucking two hilarious comedians.
Yeah, and we're
who
both
else was on?
gay.
And you're both gay kids deep down.
Yes.
A lot of people think Sal's gay. Deep down, you guys are both gay kids.
I'm embracing it.
Yeah, him and his girl are just two of the sweetest, funniest people on and off stage. I love fucking... There's very few people I love more than Sal Volcano. I like him more than you.
Yeah. And you know what you could do, Sal, if you're listening, is just tweet about the podcast. Give us a little help here.
That would be nice.
Yeah, if you could just throw a fucking nice post up about us and tag us.
Also, somebody else who recently is involved in our life should also
yes, you should do that too. But I legally can't say who.
We're fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I was about to say is that guns are illegal in Mexico.
They're illegal.
Guns are illegal in Mexico. Right? Can you just double check on that for me?
Interesante.
Because drugs are illegal in Mexico. So,
Later, Bubbas. Look at that fucking piece. Look at this piece.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. I think El Paso is one of the safest cities in Texas or something. Maybe El Paso.
Is it? Is that true? Do you think?
Yeah, but apparently El Paso and Laredo, like they pride themselves on how safe they're supposed to be.
Yeah. And everyone has a gun there. I mean, it's a gun. Texas obviously is
Because right on the other side of the border is it's the main cartel, one of the scariest cartels, right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's fucking strapped in Texas, so they look at it as, hey, we're the safest. They shine it up as like a beacon for the Second Amendment and shows that, hey, it's all about responsibility. It's the shooter. It's not the guns, which is obviously there's a lot to be said for that because there's a lot of truth to that for sure. What a lot of people don't know is that in Texas, which is right across the border, like you said, you do have to have a background check, and there are laws to get the guns. But then once you have the gun, it's very easy to resell it. You can resell it, and it goes unchecked. So what happens a lot is the drug cartels set up a lot of front men to legally buy the guns, and then those guns are moved across the border and given to the cartels. 90% of the cartel's weapons come from America, and they're traced back to legal purchases.
Yeah.
And they just change hands so many times.
So the problem is we have, as just a nation, just a people problem. You have a lot of fucking dirtbags that will do anything for money.
Well, look, these are, it's the same thing with Chicago. People are like, look at Chicago. It's like all those guns come from Indiana.
Yeah.
We have big gun companies here who like to make money. How do you make money? Fucking people need guns.
Yeah.
Why? What makes people want to buy guns? People with illegal guns doing crime.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all good for business. At the end of the day, the more guns on the street, obviously, legally and legally, the more guns are going to be sold. And so at the end of the day, it's about the dollar bills. And unfortunately, a lot of people die for that money.
Well,
because, you see the preferred weapons for a lot of the cartels, they're not like 22s or hunting rifles. They are fucking AK-47s and automatic weapons, that fire a lot and spray, and that's what they use, and that's where they get them. They get them from America. So it's they put drugs into our country. We send guns down. It's like an even exchange of fucking evil.
Guns are not completely illegal in Mexico, but they're very strict gun laws. So they probably come here to get the guns they can't get there and then bring them
Correct. Back. Yeah, it's close to it's very strict, right?
Yeah,
like
very strict
in all of Mexico.
Yeah,
yeah. So that's what it is. And in Texas, it's very lenient. And that's the thing, man. When you talk about like strengthening the gun laws, it's not about like taking guns away. It's about like amending that law. So it's like background check, but then it's illegal to resell it. That gun has to be registered every year or every 5 years or every 10 years, whatever the law may be, and it has to remain in your hands and be traced. Shit like that.
Right.
Shit like that would stop 90% of those guns that end up in cartels' hands that are used for just mass murder. But I guess, the American manufacturers are going, hey, man, that's outside our borders, whatever. They look the other way. They know.
I get it.
They all know. But it's good for business.
Well, listen, that was, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode on the Sinaloa cartel. If you didn't enjoy it, go snort some coke, listen to it again. That would be the fucking best thing you do, is get high and use some of the cartel's product while you're listening to it, because it's what it is. At the end of every episode, as we always do, we read out the newest members of the Patreon, the newest members of the Matreon.
Now we're calling it Matreon now.
But if you want to join it, you gotta have to go to Patreon with a P, patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys, and join the Matreon and the matriarchy. And be a part of it. And at the end of every episode, we read out new members, or if you've upgraded your pledge, we also read you out again.
And what you get is a bonus episode of us talking. You get extra bonus Patreon only episode look, just go read the tiers. You get stuff, and ask the people who are members. They fucking love it, because a lot of our wildest shit we do on a Patreon.
And as always, I read the names and Giannis guesses the ethnicity. So first up, Anne Marie Briones.
Emmy Brion, that is a Puerto Rican girl.
She could be Puerto Rican.
Huepa.
Lee Ross.
Oh, wait.
Andrew Agos.
Greek. How you doing, Andrew?
Murray Kirk.
Black kid.
He is white.
Ooh.
Now this guy
Murray
has a picture up, and he's got an interesting nickname that he says that we should say: Jonathan Spearchucker Fletcher.
Can we just please? How many? Let's do 6.
I am just reading what he wrote.
I know, but I'm just saying we got to Wei Zhongxin this fucking maniac.
Wei Zhongxin.
Yeah.
Well,
Wei Zhongxin.
What do you think he is?
There we go. Is he a black kid?
He's a black kid.
What?
So he can say it.
He can say it, but we're not allowed to say it. But Chrissy said it anyway.
And here's another black kid, most likely, because he's just got one name, Kevin.
Kevin? Yeah, it's one names. We always know those black kids.
Brandon Kimball,
that is a wasp. Kimball is as waspy as wasp can get. That kid definitely has a pair of penny loafers, and he doesn't wear socks.
100%. Jonathan B. Bad.
Jonathan B. Bad. I'm going to go young white teenager.
And then
who wants to be black.
Bad. Here's a girl who just gave us a message. She must have upgraded her pledge, and she looks like a piece. Diana Durazo.
Ooh, Diana Durazo. We read a comment from her before. So she is, let's say her ethnicity is peace.
Your ethnicity is peace.
Sorry, love.
Next up, Gregory Devois.
Gregory Devois, that is a French kid from New Orleans, and his parents were slave owners.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Next up, we have Scribbercisms.
Scribbercisms, that is Jihadi with a Body's friend who also raps.
Well, his last name is Scribber.
Scribber?
Yeah. Christopher Scribber.
I'm gonna go Chinese black kid.
There we go.
Yeah. Tiger Woods ethnicity.
Kay Nelson.
Kay Nelson is white.
Courtney Marie Rude.
Another honka-donk.
She is honked out.
Is she a
She is a piece.
Cute.
Corey Booth.
Corey Booth? Yeah, come on. Power forward for American University. That is a D1 black kid.
Yeah.
Corey Booth, 6'7", 210.
Chris Grillo.
Chris Grillo.
You know who he is.
I mean, this guy's got a cement business. Me and my brother, we took over the family's business.
Yeah.
We grew up in Bay Ridge, but you know what I mean? Too many of the Sandys were moving in there.
Yeah. Chris Grillo's going to send his message. Hey, listen, I just want to say thank you. The podcast is great. And guess what? I won't let my daughter date nobody like that. My daughter's new boyfriend can't hand out CDs in Times Square either. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, my name is Chris Grillo. I really love you's podcast. Like, you's kids are really fucking wild and I like listening. But listen, all the other part where you're not talking about who your daughter wouldn't date, you should make the whole podcast about that. Why don't you just say she needs to date a white kid? I mean, we're not fucking on the mall, eh? Chris Grillo is an Italian kid from fucking Staten Island.
Last but not least, Amanda Cloninger. Wow, it's close.
Wow.
Cloninger. Cloninger.
She is a
Cloninger.
honka-donk.
Honka-donk, and she's white and looks like a piece. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Be good people.
We
Listen.
appreciate it. We have to make a call today. Oh, we have to call fucking Chris the teacher. Let's call him. Shit.
Let's
I forgot
do
we have to call.
it.
See, Sal Volcano. I'm not sure if Chris the teacher's a big fan of Sal, but if he is, Sal, call the police.
Let's do it. We hope you enjoyed the episode about the Simaloan cartel, Hans. Órale. Take it easy, bro. You don't hear any Mexicans talk like that on the East Coast. No. What's up, Ese? That's down there.
It's like California Mexican.
Yeah, it's more California, bro. Baja California, right? Take it easy, man. Hi, can we speak to Chris the teacher? What happened?
He hung up. Should we call him back?
Yeah.
Let's call him back.
Call him back. I mean, who else calls him Chris the teacher?
Hello.
Chris?
Hey, what's up? Chris the teacher. It's the History Hyenas.
Why would you hang up on us? This is
What do you
your
have,
dream.
What do you have, a 16-year-old girl in your classroom with you?
Why? Holy shit! This is the best night of my life. What's up, boy?
What's up? How you doing? Whose window are you presently outside of with binoculars?
Yours, and you're not home.
Well, that is absolutely true, and that's frightening. Frightening. What's up, cuz? What you doing? You're out in Long Island? You're on the island?
I'm out in Long Island. We're going to go to the football awards dinner and listen to actually some of your shit on the Patreon right now.
You're fucking great. Yeah. You're a super fan, and we love you.
You're a super fan, and thank you. And your $25 contributions mean a lot. And even if you kill me one day, which is probable, I just want to say thanks for being a part of the matriarchy.
Yeah. Here was my. I actually met Chris. Have you met Mr.
I met. Yeah. Yeah.
I've met Chris too.
You've met him too?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Where'd you meet him?
He came at another one of the shows. He was on the couch.
Oh, right on. So, yeah, Chris came out to see me at Governor's when I was at Governor's, and he gave me a card, and it had some white powder in it, and it also had a 20, and I haven't really been the same since then, so I don't know what that white powder was.
Yeah.
But
what was it, Chris?
I take the fifth commandment.
You're little Franks and Beans, aren't you?
Hey, anybody that's got to be a fan of you has got to be a little Frank.
Oh, well, yo, Chris just got a fucking real New York accent.
Yeah,
over here.
Chris is from out in the island.
Chris from out in the island.
People from out in the island don't really leave the island. Is that right, Chris?
You can't take it out of us, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm out on Long Island right now, actually right by Jake's 58. Gonna play a little video poker, and then go home to my wife and poke her.
Hey, yeah,
Chris.
How many times has your wife left you in the last year?
Oh,
This
she's
happens
gone now.
constantly, right?
But she'll be back soon. Where's she going? I mean, come on, I'm a catch.
Now you're the parents on the board of your school. Hopefully none of them listen to this podcast, because how quickly would you be out of a job if they heard that you were a fan of the History Hyenas? Or it doesn't matter.
It would be a little bit of a problem.
Bang!
I think it will be worth it. So if you ever need me to come in and be a third mic, I'm willing to give my job up for it.
Yeah. Chris, the teacher, is trying to inch his way onto this podcast. Well, we appreciate you, man. You're a great teacher, right? You love being a teacher? Because you are actually a teacher.
Yes, sir. And you know exactly where I teach. I'm going to keep that off the airwaves. But me and Giannis have a little connection.
Yeah.
Wow.
From what I understand, yeah. I mean, I know somebody who who went to school where he taught.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to say
some illegal
that.
things happened.
No.
You're a creep. I'm kidding.
That's
I'm kidding.
all
Chris,
jokes.
I'm joking.
All jokes. Anyone listening, this is on the free. For Chris the teacher, we should have put him on the Patreon.
Chris the teacher is going to be on the Patreon. Chris the teacher's got to come in one day. Chris the teacher's a big fan. I would say almost Chris the teacher, Raphael DeLuca, and Bukakis was until you started guessing her age. DeLuca, and
It is what it is.
DeLuca and CTT are big fans, and we really do appreciate it. Honestly, I know we fuck around with you a lot, but it's really great.
We do have a few new ones who are making a run for the money, though. We got a few new ones that are coming for your guys' throne. Especially, let me see, what was her name?
She's for Rome.
She's for yeah. You actually said she was for Rome. What was her name? You actually commented that she was for Rome on the Patreon, because she comments a lot, and now I can't find it. But
Is that the one that I asked out for a Tinder date and promised you would survive it?
I think so. Yeah. What was her name? Is that Nicole?
I don't
Rosati?
remember, but she's a piss.
What a piss!
Who?
No, I'm gonna be at the Fat Black next week. Are you guys gonna be working?
Now I'm not.
Yeah, Chris will be. Thank God. You know what? You've made me be thankful I don't work the cellar.
Yes, I'll be there, Chris.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, man. Thank you, brother. We really do appreciate it, Chris. All jokes aside, man, we appreciate your support. You're always spreading the word for us. You're always commenting. You keep it fun. That's what we're all about, just having a good time. And we're glad to have you as a fan, man.
I really appreciate it, guys. I love you. And tomorrow I'm going to go back to teaching the effects of imperialism on Africa by the Europeans.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think?
Wild.
What do you think we should do next? What would be your recommendation for another episode? Today, the episode you're going to hear that you're on right now, when it comes out, we just talked about the Sinaloa Cartel and El Chapo.
Oh, baby. Well, with that trial going on, you got to be careful what you say, fellas. Come on.
Wow, Chris the teacher has a very strong Long Island accent. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
So when you go to class, you go to class, you just stand up and you go, "What's up, kid? What's up, class? Yes.
Hey.
Today's what he's going to be talking about."
Hey, guys. How you doing? Make no mistake. The Industrial Revolution was fucking wild. Yo.
Do you know anything about El
Industrial
Chapo?
Revolution? Fumes.
Yeah, Fubes. Do you know anything about El Chapo and the Sinaloa Cartel?
I can't. I only know what I know from Narcos.
Yeah, well, that's what inspired us to do it, because everyone's watching Narcos. So, Chris the teacher, we love you, brother. Once a month, we speak to our $25 a month members. Thank you for being a member of the Matriarch at $25 a month. You are our cult lead. If we start a cult, you're getting a right-hand man job right next to Chrissy Salmons.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'll be the first to drink the Kool-Aid.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate it, man. Good
you
luck
go,
to you and
boys.
your
Thank
next
you.
victim.
Bye.
All right.
Lace. As we know, it wasn't actually cool. What was it? What was
It was Flavor Aid.
Flavor Aid. Yeah.
Chris actually makes a good point. We probably shouldn't be saying anything about the Sinaloa cartel.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we didn't say anything.
We didn't say anything. I'm actually pro the cartel. I like them. I think it's interesting.
That's a weird thing to say, too. Chris, you say weird things.
I'm more scared of the cartel than the government.
Yeah, but you're a handsome kid. You're a cute fucking kid.
Yeah.
And it's just what it is.
I don't do drugs, but I may start.
Because are you going to keep that haircut when you get into your 50s or your 60s? You're going to let it grow out? What are you going to... I need to know what you're going to look like when you Fred Flintstone out. I need to know what you look like when you're older.
Yeah.
It's going to be funny.
Yeah.
I need to see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to look funny, too, because my hair is going to thin and my nose
Yeah.
and ears are going to keep growing, and I'm going to get sunspots. I'm going to look like a typical old Greek guy, and old Greek guys are
gross. And you're going to, with age, you just start to shrink, but your head's going to stay the same. It's going to look weird.
Yeah, I'm going to weird, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to the pod. Go tell your friends, patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys to be a part of the matriarchy and the Matreon. Thank you so much for listening. You can find out all my shows, ChristyComedy.com, Twitter, Instagram, @ChristyComedy. Yeah.
YanisPappas.net, and follow us, as always, on History Hyenas. At History Hyenas on Instagram. And YouTube. History Hyenas on YouTube.
And History Hyenas on YouTube. I'm going to go lick a prostate.